Christmas Eve this year, I was due to have a phone call with my son on Christmas Day. He'd got COVID and he was locked in his room at the children's home. One of the homeless guys nicked my mobile phone, and Christmas Day I was stood on the bridge over the river, thinking about jumping because I couldn't speak to my son on Christmas Day. But my dog's more important than my phone. But I was absolutely devastated on Christmas Day because I couldn't talk to my son.
Hiya Claire, how are you?
I'm okay.
Could you first off tell me where you grew up?
Peterborough.
And how would you describe your childhood?
I'd say it was pretty good, yeah.
What was it like? So siblings, mum and dad?
I've got one younger sister. My parents fostered because I was lonely, so I had lots of foster brothers and sisters coming in and out the house. Yeah, my mum and dad spoilt me to death until my sister was born, and I was always the favourite child, so...
And what was your education like?
I was a pain in the butt at school. I went to university when I was 25.
What did you study?
History. And it's, history is fantastic to me. If I find a history book, I'll not stop reading it until I've read it.
So what university did you go?
Sheffield.
And what qualification did you leave with?
A third. But I did have 3 of my children while I was at university, so... Yeah, my daughter was, 2 of my children were born while I was at university. My daughter was 2 when I started. Gave birth to my middle son, all 2 weeks before I started university, and the other one in the middle of the second year.
And so then what did you do after university?
I worked as a probation officer, and I did a teacher training course, but I didn't like it. I worked as an occupational therapist or an occupational therapist assistant, and I also worked with kids that have been kicked out of school. Yeah.
And Claire, then what happened?
My youngest is autistic, so he was born 14 years ago, and I stopped work when he got diagnosed. But I've had a few awful relationships, and the last one, I got battered so badly, and the guy broke my teeth, my finger, my dog's nose. I've got cigarette burns all over me and stab marks all over me. And it was about a week before Christmas last year, I just picked up all my things. He caught me going and hit the dog and me, knocked my teeth out and broke the dog's nose. And I'd already packed my stuff. I ran and came to London week before Christmas. And I've been on the streets ever since.
So prior to that, Claire, had you ever been homeless prior to that?
A little while when I was with my second husband. He was abusive as well, and the neighbours complained, and they kicked us out of our flat because he was hitting me then. And my kids went to live with my mum. So...
Do you still have a relationship with them today?
Yeah, well, yeah, not as good as I might have done, but I go every Sunday. I go back to Peterborough to see my youngest son. The others I see occasionally, but it's when they're not too busy, you know. I've got 4 grandchildren, and I see one of them quite regularly, and the other 3 are sort of birthdays and Christmas, that's it.
How does that make you feel that you don't see him as much?
Oh, it hurts a lot. I mean, yeah, definitely hurts a lot. The autistic one's in a children's home in Peterborough, and I'm only allowed to see him Friday afternoons and Sundays, but I can't afford to go back on it. Well, I can't afford to go back on a Sunday either, really. Occasionally I jump the train back, but usually I manage to get the money together to get there. I mean, if I spend a whole week out, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my train fare together, but there have been a couple of times that I haven't, so I've just jumped the train because I'm not going to let him down.
And so your ex-partners, are you still in communication with any of them?
No.
And how are you finding living on the streets of London?
Most of the time it's okay. I mean, Christmas was horrible. the summer is absolutely great, apart from the sun waking you up every morning. I'm sleeping, well, before my mate came up about a month ago, I was sleeping in Hyde Park on my own, and it was fine, really quiet, no problems. And then he started pointing to the pitfalls, pitfalls like all the same homeless people sleeping in the park at the same time as us and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, I have been robbed a couple of times while I've been sleeping in there, but it's not, you know, it's not that horrible. Because I'm a woman on my own, and there's a lot of homeless guys out there that will speak to the people that have been causing me problems anyway, you know. So they might have robbed me, and there have been a couple of times that's happened, but they won't do it again, you know.
What would you say the worst memory of your life is, Claire?
Oh, it was when my dad died. That was 20 years ago. Like I say, my parents were brilliant when I was growing up. Yeah, the worst memory in my life is losing my dad. And then the second worst is losing my 14-year-old who's now in care. So that's the second worst memory in my life.
Why did that happen, the care situation?
Because I keep gravitating towards abusive relationships.
And did you pick up any addictions along the way?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've tried stuff. I mean, I smoked quite a lot of weed over the years. At Christmas, people kept bringing me crack. You know, people that were on the streets, and then they'd say, oh, I'd smoke it, and then the next day they'd be there saying, oh, I can get 8 for 50 and stuff like that. And they were just trying to get money out of me, you know. It was kind of, we'll give you a little bit today, and then tomorrow we'll get more off you. And I think I paid 50 quid out twice and got 2 rocks or something, and I just thought, no, I can't be bothered. It's not, you know, it's, when I first got out here, it was nice to have a little buzz. But, you know, as soon as it was apparent that everybody was just trying to take my money off me, it just stopped.
What would you say the worst memory of your life on the streets has been?
Christmas Eve this year, I was due to have a phone call with my son on Christmas Day. He'd got COVID and he was locked in his room at the children's home. One of the homeless guys nicked my mobile phone, and Christmas Day I was stood on the bridge over the river, thinking about jumping because I couldn't speak to my son on Christmas Day. But my dog's more important than my phone, but I was absolutely devastated on Christmas Day because I couldn't talk to my son. Yeah.
For you at the moment, what would be considered a good day in your situation?
Having enough money to eat, drink, and probably get a train or a tube to wherever I'm. Because of Kev's thing about not staying in Hyde Park all the time now, or Kensington Park all the time, we have to go somewhere else. Like tonight we're going to Hampstead Heath. So having the money to get there and having money for food as well is brilliant. But then some days I have such a good day that people give me all the food I need. I've got the money in my pocket to get to wherever I want to go to, and yeah, it's just depends.
How's your day been today?
It's been pretty crap. I've made £1 all day.
And how long have you been out there?
I got there about 1 o'clock, and I don't know what time it is now, so it's about 3 hours.
If you had one wish, Claire, what would that be?
I'd like to get a job where I could do something with my degree. That would be, you know, I mean, I'm 54 now, so there's not a lot of opportunities that come up. But if I could get a job where I could do something with my degree, that would be my one wish. Well, my main wish would be to get my son back, but that's not likely to happen. So, yeah, the other wish would be to do something with my degree.
Do you reckon you will ever be able to get your kids back?
Well, he'll come back to me when he's 18 because they can't keep hold of him after he's 18. But for the next 3 years, well, he's 15 in November. So November in 4 years, 3 years' time, I can have him back.
Is that something that you're looking forward to?
Yeah.
And as well, Claire, before we finish, is there anything that you would like to say?
Well, I think people have a bit of a jaded view of homeless people, and some of them are absolute arseholes. I'll tell you that. But most of us are just trying to get through from day to day and just live, that's it.
Thank you for your time, Claire. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
And it was
Thanks.
really nice to meet you.
Thank you.